The Roman Empire, one of the biggest and most notable empires and civilizations in human history, making big impacts on fields such as science, math, war, philosophy, art, and much, much more. And along with such a notable and big part of human history, there are sure to be many mysteries, secrets, and tragedies that are hidden within the ancient empire. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the ancient Rome iceberg. And actually, before we get into the video, consider subscribing to the channel. It's my goal to be at 100,000 subscribers, and it'd be really awesome if you could help contribute to that goal. Alright, since that's out of the way, let's actually get into the video. Alright, just diving right into the iceberg, starting off with Tier 1, and the first entry being, Julius Caesar was not an emperor. Julius Caesar was not an emperor, he was a Roman general and a statesman who played a critical role in the events that led to the demise of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire. Julius Caesar was born in 100 BCE and became a prominent military and political figure in Rome. In 44 BCE, Julius Caesar was assassinated by a group of Roman senators, including prominent figures like Brutus and Cassius, in what was famously known as the Ides of March. After his death, a power struggle ensued, eventually leading to the rise of Caesar's grandnephew and adopted son, Octavian, later known as Augustus, who became the first Roman emperor. This marked the transition from the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire. Nero. Nero, full name Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanius, was a Roman emperor who ruled from 54 to 68 CE, in CE meaning Common Era. He was the last Roman emperor of the Julio-Claudian dynasty. Nero is often remembered for his controversial and tyrannical rule, marked by political instability, extravagant spending, and persecution of Christians. One of the most infamous events associated with Nero is the Great Fire of Rome in 64 CE, during which a large part of the city was destroyed. While Nero is commonly accused of fiddling while Rome burned, historical accounts suggested that he was not in the city, at least at the time, and the fiddle story is likely a later embellishment. Nero faced increasingly opposition and eventually lost support from the Senate and the Praetorian Guard in 68 CE, facing the threat of impeachment and possible execution. Nero committed S-word, leading to the Year of the Four Emperors, a period of civil war and political unrest that eventually resulted in the establishment of the Flavian dynasty. Incitatus was the name of a horse associated with the Roman Emperor Caligula. According to historical accounts, Caligula, known for his eccentric and often erratic behavior, supposedly intended to make Incitatus a consul, which was a high-ranking political office in ancient Rome. There are various different stories about the extent of Caligula's indulgence with his horse, including providing it with a marble stall, an ivory manger, and allegedly considering it for political office. The stories about Incitatus are often considered embellished and not to be taken fully literally, and may have been exaggerated or invented to depict Caligula as a capricious and extravagant ruler. Roman myths are actually Greek. There's a considerable amount of overlap between Roman and Greek mythology, but they are distinct traditions with their own unique stories and interpretations. While there are similarities and parallels, each mythology has its own set of gods, myths, and cultural contexts. Roman mythology was heavily influenced by Greek mythology due to the two cultures and historical connections between the two civilizations. So Roman myths can be kind of considered as Greek because they were just so heavily influenced that most of them just came directly from Greek culture. When the Romans came into contact with the Greek, they assimilated many aspects of Greek culture, including mythology. As a result, Roman gods often corresponded to Greek gods with similar attributes and roles, but they are not fully identical, but just, as I said, heavily influenced. For example, Jupiter in Roman mythology is analogous to Zeus in Greek mythology, Mars to Ares, Venus to Aphrodite, and so forth. The Romans, however, often interpreted these deities with their own cultural perspectives and sometimes integrated them into their own historical narratives. So, while there is a significant interplay between both Roman and Greek mythology, they are two different distinct traditions, but one could maybe consider them the same. Coliseum. The Coliseum, also known as the Flavian Amphitheater, stands as an iconic symbol of ancient Rome in the heart of present-day Rome, Italy. Construction of this grand amphitheater began under the reign of Emperor Vespasian in AD 72 and was completed in AD 80 during the rule of his successor, Emperor Titus. Subsequent modifications were made during the reign of Domitian, purposely designed for various different public spectacles. The Coliseum hosted gladiatorial contests, animal hunts, mock sea battles, executions, and classical dramas, so the Coliseum was really used for just everything. Its immense elliptical structure could accommodate up to 80,000 spectators, making it a central hub for entertainment in ancient Rome. Spartacus. Spartacus was a gladiator and a prominent figure in the Third Servile War, a slave uprising against the Roman Republic that occurred between 73 and 71 BCE. Details about Spartacus's early life are not well documented, but it is believed that he was a Thracian who served as a Roman auxiliary before becoming a gladiator. The rebellion led by Spartacus began in 73 BCE when he and a small group of gladiators escaped from a gladiatorial training camp in Cappadocia. As they fled, they gathered more followers, including slaves and free individuals, and eventually formed a formidable army. Spartacus and his followers, numbering in the tens of thousands, defeated several Roman legions in a series of battles. The revolt became a major threat to the Roman Republic, and Spartacus's leadership earned him the respect of his followers. However, the rebellion eventually faced internal divisions, and Spartacus's forces were defeated by the Roman general Marcus Linnæus Crassus in 71 BCE. Spartacus died in battle, and many of his followers were captured and crucified along the Appian Way, serving as a warning against future uprisings. Despite the ultimate failure of the rebellion, Spartacus became a symbol of the resistance against oppression. His story has become immortalized in various works of literature, film, and television, portraying him as a courageous leader who fought for freedom against the mighty Roman Republic. Year of the Four Emperors. The Year of the Four Emperors, spanning from 69 to 70 CE, was a tumultuous period in Roman history marked by civil war and political upheaval. It unfolded in the wake of the death of Emperor Nero in 68 CE. The succession crisis led to rapid succession of four different individuals claiming the imperial title. The first claimant was Galba, governor of Hispania, who ascended to power in June 68 CE but faced financial difficulties and a lack of support from the Praetorian Guard. His reign was short-lived, ending with his murder in January 69 CE. Following Galba's demise, Marcus Otho, a former governor and friend of Nero, took the reins of power. However, Otho's rule was changed by Vitellius, the governor of Germania, leading to Otho's defeat and subsequent S-word in April 69 CE. Vitellius then assumed the role of emperor, but faced strong opposition from Vespasian, the governor of Syria, who also declared himself emperor. The conflict culminated in the Second Battle of Bedracium, resulting in Vitellius' capture and execution in December 69 CE. Vespasian, the founder of the Flavian dynasty, emerged victorious and went on to establish stability in the Roman Empire. The Year of the Four Emperors highlighted the political and military challenges faced by Rome during this period. Tarquin the Proud. Tarquin the Proud, also known as Lucius Tarquinius, was the seventh and last legendary king of Rome according to Roman tradition. His reign is associated with tyranny and oppression, so he's not known for overall good things, and his overall led to the establishment of the Roman Republic. According to Roman mythology and historical tradition, Tarquin the Proud came to power through violence and the assassination of his predecessor, Servius Tullius. He was said to have been involved in a conspiracy with his wife, Tullia, who encouraged him to seize the throne. Tarquin's rule was marked by harsh and arbitrary governance. One notable event was the R-word of Luceria, a virtuous Roman noblewoman, by Tarquin's son. This incident sparked a rebellion against the tyrannical rule of Tarquin. Luceria's father and husband, along with other leading figures, swore to overthrow the monarchy and establish the Roman Republic. The rebellion against Tarquin the Proud led to his expulsion from Rome in 509 BCE. The Roman Republic was then founded, and the Romans vowed never again to have a king. This period marked the beginning of the Roman Republic and formed a government that endured for centuries. While the historical accuracy of the events surrounding Tarquin the Proud is uncertain, there's a pretty good story that goes along with it, which I just went over. Constantine the Great. Constantine the Great, born Flavius Flavius Constantius, ascended to the throne as Roman emperor in 306 CE, marking a crucial point in the history of the Roman Empire. His rule was characterized by significant political and religious developments. Constantine emerged victorious in the civil wars that followed the Tetrarchy. solidifying his power and reuniting the divided empire in 324 CE after defeating Licinius. One of Constantine's most notable contributions was the founding of Constantinople in 330 CE. The city, previously known as Byzantium, became the new capital of the Roman Empire, strategically positioned in the east, reflecting a shift in the center of imperial authority. Constantinople would later serve as the capital of the Byzantine Empire, playing a central role in medieval history. Constantine's reign is closely associated with the Edict of Milan issued in 313 CE. This edict marked a turning point in Roman policy towards religion, granting religious tolerance to all faiths and officially ending the persecution of Christians. So this is a pretty big shift in Roman history. Constantine himself became the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity, a pivotal event that had profound impact on the history of the Roman Empire. The First Council of Nicaea in 325 CE, convened by Constantine, aimed to address theological disputes with Christianity. The council produced the Nicene Creed, which is a pretty big thing in Christianity, a statement of faith that helped establish a unified Christian doctrine. Constantine's influence on the early Christian church and the shaping of Christian theology remains a significant aspect of his legacy. Constantine's death in 337 CE led to the division of the empire among his sons, marking the end of an era. Despite debates about the sincerity and timing of his conversion, Constantine's role in promoting Christianity and fostering religious tolerance left an indelible mark on the Roman Empire and contributed to the shaping of the Byzantine world that followed, which was just another big part of history throughout the medieval times. Suetonius. Gaius Suetonius Tranquillus, commonly just known as Sutonius, was a Roman historian and biographer who lived during the early imperial era. His most renowned work, De Vita Caesarium and the 12 Caesars, is a collection of biographies that delves into the lives and reigns of the first 12 emperors of the Roman Empire, starting with Julius Caesar and concluding with Domitian. Suetonius' writing style is marked by his anecdotal and gossipy nature, providing readers with vivid details about the emperor's personal lives, achievements, and notable events during their rule. Beyond the 12 Caesars, Suetonius authored other works, including De Viris and Studius, which is translated to On Famous Men, which explores the lives of notable Romans. Despite his contributions to Roman historiography, Suetonius faced a decline in his political fortunes during the reign of Emperor Hadrian, possibly due to his associations with Hadrian's political adversaries. Prior to this, he had served as a director of the imperial archives under Emperor Trajan. Suetonius' works, while not always considered completely accurate, hold historical value for scholars and enthusiasts seeking insights into the personalities of the Roman emperors and the cultural milieu of the early Roman Empire. His anecdotes, although sometimes colored by gossip, contribute to a colorful and engaging portrayal of Roman imperial history, offering a unique perspective on the lives of the individuals who shaped the destiny of Rome. Saturnalia, a prominent ancient Roman festival dedicated to the god of Saturn, held a central place in Roman calendar and culture. Commencing around December 17th and extending for about a week, Saturnalia marked the conclusion of the sowing season and the bountiful harvest, reflecting its agricultural origins. During this festival period, social norms were temporarily inverted, with masters and slaves exchanging roles and societal hierarchies relaxed to create an atmosphere of equality and revelry. The collaboration and celebration was characterized by widespread merrymaking, feasting, and gift-giving, so kind of like a weird Christmas. Elaborate banquets were held, and people engaged in games of chance and gambling as luck played a thematic role in the festivals. Homes were adorned with candles, greenery, and other decorations symbolizing a quest for knowledge and truth. Aspects associated with Saturn as a god of wisdom. Temples dedicated to Saturn were decorated, and public celebrations included possessions, sacrifices, and various entertainments. The spirit of Saturnalia, with its emphasis on joy and the exchange of gifts, has left a lasting legacy, influencing some aspects of modern winter celebrations, particularly the customs associated with, like I said, Christmas. While rooted in Roman tradition, Saturnalia reflects a timeless human inclination to celebrate the changing seasons with festivals that bring together in the spirit of warmth and camaraderie. Fiddling while Rome burns. I touched on this a little bit early with Nero when I said he was fiddling, but that was kind of whatever, but I'm just going to get into it now with this entry. Is an idiom that is commonly used to criticize someone who is neglecting their responsibilities or addressing trivial matters while a crisis or serious situation unfolds. The origin of this phrase is often attributed to the Roman Emperor Nero, although historically accuracy is debated. Like I said, according to popular but likely authorial account, Nero was said to have played the fiddle while Rome was engulfed in a disastrous fire in 64 CE. The story suggests that Nero was indifferent to the suffering of the people and callously engaged in his own musical pursuits during a moment of crisis. While the historical accuracy of Nero fiddling during the Great Fire of Rome is questionable, the phrase has had a pretty big impact in modern language, and it's kind of funny to know that Nero was just playing the fiddle while all of Rome was burning, but who knows if that's even true. Shakespeare. William Shakespeare, the celebrated English playwright, transported audiences to ancient Rome in several of his iconic plays, and I think that's what this is referring to, his plays, because William Shakespeare definitely wasn't alive during the Roman Empire, so I guess this will just talk about his plays that he had that played off Rome. And his plays exploring the complexity of power, politics, and human nature within the backdrop of the Roman Empire. In Julius Caesar, one of his most famous, written around 1599, Shakespeare delves into the conspiracy against the ambitious ruler, the assassination plot, and the aftermath, offering a dramatic exploration of betrayal and political intrigue. Antony and Cleopatra, penned around 1606, shifts the focus to the relationship between Mark Antony, a Roman general, and Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt. The play navigates the tension between personal desires and political responsibilities, immersing the audience in a tale of love and political melancholies. Cornelius, written circa 1605 through 1608, draws inspiration from the life of Gaius Marcius Cornelius, a legendary Roman leader. This tragedy probes into themes of pride, honor, and the delicate balance between individuality and the demands of the state. While Titus Andronicus, composed around 1590 to 1593, is not strictly set in Rome, it unfolds with a Roman context, depicting the tragic descent of the protagonist Titus into madness amidst a series of betrayals and vengeance. Lastly, Cymbeline, crafted around 1609 to 1610, incorporates Roman elements into a complex narrative of love, jealousy, and political maneuvering. Although not a strictly Roman play, it reflects and shows Shakespeare's fascination with the diverse aspects of human experience against the backdrop of the classical world. Shakespeare's Roman plays showcase his masterful blending of historical facts, literary creativity, and profound insights into the human condition. Though these works, he continues to transport audiences across centuries to the heart of the Roman Empire, unrailing timeless themes that resonate with audiences all the way to this day. Hercules. Hercules, or Hercules in Greek mythology, stands as an iconic and enduring figure celebrated for his extraordinary strength and heroic exploits. Born the son of Zeus and mortal woman Alcmena, Hercules inherited demigod status, endowing him with superhuman abilities. Perhaps most famous are his 12 laborers, a series of arduous tasks assigned to him as punishment for a crime committed during a bout of madness induced by Hera, Zeus's wife. These labors, which induced overcoming mythical beasts and completing seemingly impossible feats, showcased Hercules' exceptional strength and courage. However, Hercules' life was not without tragedy. Driven to madness by Hera, he inadvertently caused the death of his wife and child. In his effort to atone for his grave crime, Hercules willingly took on perilous quests and undertook challenges to prove his worthiness. Despite facing numerous trials and tribulations, Hercules' determination and bravery prevailed. In recognition of his heroic deeds, Hercules ascended to Mount Olympus after his death, achieving immortality and joining the pantheon of Greek gods. So he just did a bunch of challenges and then became immortal and put into the Greek god status. His stories have left an indelible mark on Western culture, influencing much of art, literature, and popular entertainment. Alright, now on to Tier 2. I, Claudius, by Robert Graves, is a historical novel that unfolds as a fictional autobiography attributed to the Roman Emperor Claudius. Published in 1934, the novel adopts a unique narrative style, presenting itself as a secret history written by Claudius during his later years. Written in the first person, Claudius recounts his life, political experiences, and the complex dynamics of the early Roman Empire. The novel is distinguished by its historical accuracy, with Graves conducting extensive research and drawing from ancient sources such as Sutonius and Tacitus. The narrative spans the reigns of Augustus, Tiberius, and Caligula, capturing the political intrigues, conspiracies, and scandals that marked the Julio-Claudian dynasty. Despite Claudius portraying himself as physically weak and seemingly bumbling, his memoir reveals his keen observations and survival instincts in navigating the treacherous political landscape. I, Claudius, offers a vivid portrayal of the inner workings of the Roman aristocracy, delving into power struggles, betrayals, and complex family relationships. So this novel just does a really good job of showing just the Roman higher-ups and how their personal lives worked. Claudius, often underestimated due to his physical ailments, ultimately rises to the imperial throne. The novel's success led to the adaptation into a renowned television miniseries in 1976, starring Derek Jacobi as Claudius, further popularizing Graves' depiction of Roman history. Praised for its engaging storytelling and historical depth, I, Claudius remains a classic in historical fiction, providing readers with a captivating and nuanced perspective on the tumultuous events of early Roman Empire. V instead of U. V instead of U in inscriptions and Latin texts, particularly in ancient Rome, is a practice known as Roman square capitals or capitulus monumentalis. In ancient Roman inscriptions, the letters U and V were often used interchangeably, and the letter V was typically used for both the consonant sound W and the vowel sound U. The use of V instead of U is a convention of Latin epigraphy, which is the study of inscriptions, and it's not uncommon to see words such as Centavius instead of Santonius, Invictus instead of Victrix, so they just used V and U interchangeably, like I just said, on ancient Roman monuments and inscriptions. This convention is more prevalent in inscriptions and monumental contexts rather than everyday writing as we see today. Crisis of the 3rd century. The crisis of the 3rd century, spanning from 235 to 284 CE, marked a tumultuous period in Roman history characterized by severe political, economic, and military challenges. One of the primary factors contributing to the crisis was the extraordinary political instability with a rapid turnover of emperors. Leadership changes occurred frequently, often through assassination or overthrows, leading to a lack of stability and effective governance. This internal turmoil was exacerbated by external threats, including invasions by Germanic tribes and the assassination Persians, as well as internal revolts by regional leaders. The military, traditionally a stabilizing force, became a source of constant unrest during this period. The Roman emperor faced threats on multiple fronts, and different factions within the military vied for power, so no one was agreeing with each other during this time, and everyone was just basically killing each other. These conflicts and power struggles further weakened the empire's ability to respond cohesively to external challenges. Concurrently, economic decline became a pervasive issue, marked by soaring inflation and the debasement of the currency. Agriculture production suffered, and disruptions in trade routes added to the economic woes. To address these different challenges, Emperors Diocletian and Constantine the Great implemented significant reforms. They introduced administrative changes, including the division of the empire into smaller regions, while Constantine established Constantinople as the new capital, as we went over earlier, reflecting a shift in the center of the power. These reforms aimed to stabilize the empire and lay the groundwork for a more centralized and autocratic system of governance. The crisis of the 3rd century is often viewed as a precursor to the transformation of the Roman Empire into the late Roman Empire. While the changes during this period nearly brought about the collapse of the Roman state, the subsequent reforms played a crucial role in extending the empire's longevity in a different form. Romulus Augustus. God, that's a hell of a name. But Romulus Augustus holds the historical distinction of being the last Roman emperor of the Western Roman Empire. His reign, which is traditionally dated from 31 October 475 AD to 4th of September 476 AD. It unfolded during a period of intense political and military turmoil. Ascending to the throne as a teenager, Romulus Augustus was installed by his father, Orestes, who was deposed of the previous emperor, Julius Caesar. The symbolic weight of Romulus Augustus' name is noteworthy, echoing both the legendary founder of Rome, Romulus, and the revered first emperor, Augustus. However, his reign is more prominently associated with the culmination of the Western Roman Empire's decline. The influence of various Germanic tribes and foederae had become increasingly pronounced, contributing to a state of instability. In 476 AD, the Germanic chieftain Osider led a successful revolt against Romulus Augustus' rule. The defeat of Roman forces marks a turning point. and Romulus Augustus was deposed. Odoacer, recognizing the symbolic significance of the Roman imperial title, declared himself ruler of Italy. This event is traditionally considered the symbolic endpoint of the Western Roman Empire, with Romulus Augustus regarded as its last emperor. Following his deposition, Romulus Augustus fades from historical record, and the details of his post-reign life remain somewhat obscure, and no one really knows what happened to him after he lost his throne. Historical accounts suggest that Odoacer, rather than resorting into violence, allowed him to retire peacefully. The fate of Romulus Augustus becomes a historical enigma, and the subsequent years witness the profound transformation of the political landscape in Europe, marking the transition from antiquity to the medieval era. The fall of Romulus Augustus is a poignant symbol of the broader decline and dissolution of the Western Roman Empire, leaving a huge mark in world history and especially European history. Justinian. Emperor Justinian I, reigning from 527 to 565 AD, stands as a prominent figure in Byzantine history, leaving an indelible mark on various aspects of the empire. Central to his legacy are the sweeping legal reforms undertaken during his rule, commissioning the compilation of legal texts, the Corpus Juris Civilis, or Justinian Code. Justinian aimed to systemize Roman law, providing a comprehensive foundation for Byzantine legal traditions, and influenced subsequent European legal systems. Military campaigns marked another defining feature of Justinian's reign. Through the strategic brilliance of his general Belasius, significant territories were reconquered, including North Africa from the Vandals and parts of Italy from the Ostrogoths. While these victories were costly, they reflected Justinian's ambition to restore the former glory of the Roman Empire. The Nika riots of 532 AD presented a significant internal challenge for Justinian. Originated from political and social grievances, the riots escalated into a rebellion against the empire. Justinian's response was resolute, using military force to suppress the uprising and subsequently undertaking the reconstruction of parts of Constantinople that have been damaged during the unrest. Petorian Betrayal. Petorian Betrayal refers to historical events including the Praetorian Guard in ancient Rome. The Praetorian Guard was an elite force of bodyguards initially created to protect the Roman generals and later tasked with guarding the Roman emperors. Throughout Roman history, the Praetorian Guard played a significant role in politics, often involving intrigue, power struggles, and at times betrayal. One notable instance of betrayal involving the Praetorian Guard occurred in 41 AD, when Caligula, the Roman emperor, was assassinated. The Praetorians were involved in the plot, and after the assassination, they supported the rise of Caligula's uncle, Claudius, as the new emperor. This event illustrates how the Praetorian Guard could be both powerful and politically influential, often shaping the course of Roman politics through their allegiance to or betrayal of emperors. Another infamous case of Praetorian involvement in betrayal occurred in 1903 AD during the Year of the Five Emperors. The Praetorian Guard played a crucial role in the assassination of Emperor Pertinax and the subsequent auctioning of the imperial throne to the highest bidder, ultimately leading to a brief period of chaos and civil war in the empire. The Praetorian Guard's involvement in political machinations and betrayals reflected the challenges and complexities of maintaining imperial power in ancient Rome. Emperors often had to navigate the loyalty of the Praetorian Guard, which could be fickle and influenced by various factors, including financial incentives and political maneuvering. Cassius Dio, a Roman historian and senator, made a lasting impact on the study of Roman history throughout his extensive work Roman History. Born around 155 AD and living into the mid-3rd century, Dio belonged to a distinguished Roman family and held prominent political positions, including consul. His historical work, unfortunately, survives only in fragments, yet these remnants provide invaluable insights into Rome's history from its mythical origins to the early 3rd century. Dio's Roman history comprises 80 books, covering a vast time spans and serving as a crucial source for periods where other historical accounts are scarce. His approach to history was influenced by Greek predecessors like Thaddeus and Polybius, emphasizing a comprehensive and analytical examination of the causes and consequences of the events. Dio's writing style is characterized by sobriety and consciousness, often incorporating speeches and moral reflections into his narrative. One notable aspect of Dio's historical contributions is his use of the Greek language rather than Latin for his work, reflecting the linguistic preferences of the educated Roman elite during his era. His political career unfolded during a transformative period, witnessing the transition from the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire. This context had led scholars to recognize certain biases in Dio's accounts, influenced by political realities of his time. Despite criticisms and the loss of a majority of his original work, Dio's Roman history remains a critical source for understanding the later stages of the Roman Republic in the formative years of the First Roman Empire and how it transitioned, and just gave us a really good look into political, military, and social aspects of Roman history. Third Rome. The concept of Third Rome is rooted in the historical and cultural claim that is a particular city or state and the rightful successor to the legacy of the Roman Empire. The designation of First Rome naturally belongs to Rome itself, the original capital of the Roman Empire. Even after the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 AD, Rome retained cultural and religious significance, particularly with the establishment of the Roman Catholic Church and the Pope at its helm. Rome continued to be regarded as the spiritual and cultural center in Western Christianity. With the division of the Roman Empire into eastern and western halves, Constantinople, founded by Emperor Constantine the Great, assumed the role as the Second Rome. The Byzantine Empire saw itself as the legitimate continuation of the Roman Empire, especially following the fall of the Rome in the West during the 5th century. Constantinople, often referred to as the New Rome, served as the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire until its conquest by the Ottoman Turks in 1453. The emergence of the idea of the Third Rome is associated with Moscow in the 16th century. Following the fall of Constantinople, Ivan III of Russia married Sophia Pangologia, a niece of the last Byzantine emperor, and asserted that Moscow had inherited the political and spiritual mission of both Rome and Constantinople. The concept gained prominence during the reign of Ivan V, or Ivan the Terrible, and was promoted by Russian theologians and intellectuals. The idea of Moscow as the Third Rome contributed to the development of a unique Russian identity and played a role in geopolitical and religious narratives. Auction of the Empire, and this is on to Tier 3. The term Auction of the Empire is closely tied to the tumultuous year of the 5 emperors in ancient Rome, a period of intense political upheaval following the assassination of Emperor Pertinax in 1903 AD. Pertinax's attempts to reform the military and limit their privileges led to his demise, and he was killed by the Praetorian Guard. The ensuing power vacuum created a chaotic environment where various claimants sought control of the Roman Empire. In a stark and symbolic display of the breakdown of established political structures, the Praetorian Guard put the imperial throne up for auction. Didius Julianus, a wealthy senator, emerged as the highest bidder by promising a substantial payment to the Praetorian Guard. So basically, obviously, just paid his way to the top and be leader. The auction-like scenario underscored the unprecedented and volatile nature of the political landscape at the time, and there was really no set leader at the time, with the imperial office seemingly available to the highest bidder rather than being determined through traditional means. Meanwhile, in other parts of the empire, amphibious generals, including Septimius Severus, stationed in Pannonia, had their own designs on the throne. Severus, aware of the chaos in Rome, marched on the capital with the support of his legions. Faced with internal dissatisfaction and his external military threat, Didius Julianus was unable to maintain control. Severus entered Rome, and Didius Julianus was executed, marking the end of the brief and controversial reign. The events of the Year of 5 Emperors illustrates the vulnerability of Roman imperial power during times of crisis, and this caused mass chaos throughout Rome, and just was not a fun time to live throughout. Quintiles. In astrology, the term quintiles refers to a specific aspect formed between 2 planets when they are 72 degrees apart in the zodiac. Astrologers attribute unique qualities to quintiles, viewing them as indicators of special talents, creative abilities, and opportunities for personal growth. So basically, this is just like zodiac signs. The aspect is believed to foster harmonious and constructive energies between the planets involved, potentially influencing an individual's strengths and areas of expertise in their astrological chart. Valentinian I's death. Valentinian I, a Roman emperor who ruled from 364 to 375 AD, died under dramatic and contentious circumstances. Valentinian I faced numerous challenges during his reign, including military conflicts, political intrigues, and religious disputes. According to historical accounts, Valentinian I's death occurred in 375 AD at the fortress of Brigetto, modern-day Sura, Hungary, which was a key military installation of the Danube frontier. The emperor was engaged in negotiations with the Quadi and Sarmatian tribes, who were known for their incursions into Roman territory. The exact circumstances of Valentinian's first death are somewhat unclear, and no one really knows for sure, but different sources provide varying narratives. The most widely accepted amount is that during negotiations with the Quindi, the emperor became enraged by perceived insolence on the part of the tribe leaders. In a fit of anger, Valentinian suffered a burst blood vessel or a stroke, leading to his sudden death. The dramatic nature of Valentinian's first demise had led to speculation and debate among historians. Some sources suggest that the emperor's death might have been the result of an underlying medical condition exacerbated by stress, while others emphasize the psychological toll of dealing with the challenges of his rule. Following Valentinian's first death, his son Valentinian II succeeded him as emperor. Historia Augusta authorship. The authorship of the Historia Augusta remains a historical enigma, with scholarly debates centered around the authenticity of the 6 names attributed to its supposed authors: Arrius Spartanius, Julius Campanius, Aethus Lampidius, Julius Alcanius, Trebulus Pollio, and Flavius Volscibius. And I know I butchered all those names, but it's whatever. Rather than presenting a cohesive narrative, the work comprises biographies of Roman emperors from Hadrian to Carus. One prevailing theory suggests that Historia Augusta might be the work of a single author, adopting multiple personas to give the impression of diverse contributions. This hypothesis is grounded in the inconsistencies observed across different sections of the text. Alternatively, some scholars propose a collaborative effort, positing that a group of authors may have worked on their biographies, each contributing specific portions. An intriguing notion is that the names of the alleged authors could be entirely fictional, crafted to lend an air of authority and diversity to the work, even though it was one guy who just wanted to make it seem like there was multiple people working on it, but who knows. This theory suggests and challenges the traditional understanding of the Historia Augusta as a multi-authored compilation. Additionally, there are suspicions of deliberate forgery, with the text potentially created to fill historical gaps, provide entertaining narratives, or serve political purposes, and so a lot of it could just be lies. Given the lack of contemporary confirmation for many events and individuals described in the Historia Augusta, historians approach this work with caution and not as full fact. While it offers insights into the Roman imperial period, its questionable reliability and potential for embellishment or invention underscore the complexities surrounding its origin and purpose in the broader context of Roman historiography. Gladiatres. The term gladiatres refers to female gladiators in ancient Rome, a topic that has generated historical interest and debate. While evidence does exist suggesting the presence of women in gladiatorial contests, their participation was relatively rare compared to their male counterparts. References to female gladiators can be found in ancient Roman literature, with the historian Tacitus mentioning instances of their involvement in the 1st century AD. The nature of gladiatorial combat for women likely mirrored that of men, encompassing varying styles, weapons, and armor. However, the inclusion of female gladiators stirred both entertainment and controversy in Roman society. Some saw it as a novelty, while others criticized the departure from traditional gender roles, viewing the arena as a male-dominated space. But the participation of women in gladiatorial contests seems to have declined in the 2nd century AD, and by the 3rd century, historical evidence of their presence becomes scarcer. The changing social and cultural dynamics of the time likely played a role in this decline. The concept of gladiatrix, while shedding light on the complexities of gender roles in ancient Rome, also highlights the multifaceted nature of Roman entertainment and evolving attitudes towards women participation in public spectacles. Alright, now on to Tier 4, starting out with Sol Invictus. Sol Invictus, translating to unconquered sun in Latin, held significance in Roman religion and later Roman Empire. The cult of Sol Invictus had roots in the Hellenistic period. Influenced by Eastern sun deities, the symbolism of the sun as invincible and life-giving was a common theme across various ancient cultures. Under Emperor Arthurian's reign in the 3rd century, the cult of Sol Invictus gained official recognition. In 274 AD, Aurelian declared Sol Invictus the official deity of the Roman Empire and erected a temple in Rome dedicated to the sun god. December 25th, corresponding to the winter solstice in the Roman calendar, became associated with the birthday of the unconquered sun, and festivals on this date influenced the later Christian celebration of Christmas. The worship of Sol Invictus involved syncretism, blending elements from Eastern solar cults and associations with deities like Mithras. This syndicate approach mirrored the diverse religious landscape of the Roman Empire. Despite its official recognition, the cult faced a decline with the ascendancy of Christianity. Some aspects of Sol Invictus festivals persisted, leaving a lasting impact on the Christian traditions associated with Christmas. Sol Invictus stands as a testament to the rich tapestry of religious practices with the Roman Empire and the adaptability of its belief systems to incorporate diverse cultural influences. Skol Palatini, translated as Palatine Schools or Palatine Guard, were an elite corps of imperial bodyguards in the Roman Empire. Established during the reign of Emperor Diocletian in the late 3rd century AD, these select troops served as the personal guard of the Roman empires, holding a prestigious and privileged position within the military hierarchy. Membership in the Skol Palatini was highly coveted, attracting well-trained and well-equipped soldiers. Their primary role was to ensure the personal security of the emperor, accompanying him on campaigns, participating in official ceremonies, and maintaining order within the imperial court. Beyond their military functions, they played a significant role in various ceremonial activities, highlighting their dual role as both guardians and participants in the imperial pageantry. The organization of the Skol Palatini involved regimes, each led by the comes or count. These regiments were stationed in or around the capital city, providing immediate protection to the emperor. Their elite status and proximity to the ruler emphasized the significance of personal loyalty and protection within the imperial structure. The Skol Palatini continued its Byzantine period, undergoing changes in organization and function. However, during the reign of Byzantine Emperor Constantine V in the 8th century, the Skol Palatini were disbanded as part of efforts to reduce the influence of the military aristocracy. Vetrano, also known as Vetrano Noponius, emerged as a Roman empire during the tumultuous year of 350 AD. Marked by internal strife and external threats, with a background rooted in the military, Vetrano was proclaimed emperor by the troops under his command during a campaign against the upstart Magnentius. This move was likely to attempt and find a strong and capable leader to oppose the growing changes facing the Roman Empire. Recognizing the need for a united front against Magnentius, Constantinius II, the Eastern Roman Emperor, acknowledged Vetrano's claim, making him co-emperor. However, Vetrano's reign proved short-lived, lasting only a few months. The details of his rule are somewhat obscure, and historical records do not provide a comprehensive account of his activities during this period, facing challenges in consolidating power and navigating the complex political landscape. Vetrano chose to abdicate voluntarily. His decision to step down from the imperial throne likely aimed at avoiding potential conflicts with Constantinius II and maintaining a semblance of stability in the empire. After abdicating, Vetrano faded into historical obscurity, and no one really knows what happened in his later life. Alright, now on to Tier 5, starting off with Preus, a minor deity in ancient Greek and Roman mythology, yet perhaps best known for his comical and distinctive representation. Often depicted with an exaggerated, permanently erect phallus, Preus was associated with fertility, gardens, and the protection of livestock. Despite his humorous appearance, he held significance in rural and agricultural communities, where he was invoked to ensure abundant harvests and successful breeding of animals. As a guardian of gardens, orchards, and vineyards, Preus was believed to ward off thieves and trespassers, contributing to the fertility of the land. In addition to his phallic symbolism, he was portrayed carrying a pruning knife or cornucopia, further emphasizing his ties to agriculture and abundance. Preus made appearances in classic literature, with mentions in Ovid's Fasti and a satirical poem attributed to the Roman poet Quintiles. His role extended beyond the realm of mythology, as Preus contributed to captivate the artistic imagination throughout history. The Renaissance, in particular, witnessed a revival of interest in classical themes, leading to reinterpretations and representations of Preus in various works of art. Jovian Death. Jovian, also known as Flavius Jovanius, assumed the role of Roman emperor in the challenging aftermath of the death of Emperor Julian the Apostate during the Persian campaign in 363 AD. Jovian's unexpected elevation to the throne placed him in a precarious position as he navigated negotiations with the Sassanian Persians for peace and the safe withdrawal of the Roman army. His reign, however, was very short-lived, spanning only about 8 months. In February 364 AD, while traveling from Antioch to Constantinople, Jovian died in sleep under circumstances that have remained somewhat obscure throughout history. The exact cause of his death is uncertain, and various different theories have been proposed. One hypothesis suggests carbon monoxide poisoning from a charcoal brazier in his chamber, while others propose the possibility of natural causes or illness. Jovian's passing led to the swift selection of Valentine I as a successor, and we talked about him, so I don't really need to go over him. Coin collecting. Coin collecting in Rome, with its extensive historical backdrop, offers enthusiasts a fun thing to do and can get a lot of money for coin collecting. The focus often extends to ancient Roman coins, particularly those from the Roman Republic and the Roman Empire, which provide invaluable insights into the political, social, and cultural dynamics of the time. Among the various Roman coins, the denarius and aureus stand out. The denarius, crafted from silver, was a widely used currency during the Roman Republic and early empire, while the aureus, made of gold, held high value and prominence. Collectors may find joy in assembling a collection featuring portraits of renowned emperors like Julius Caesar, Augustus, Nero, and Hadrian, and these can all get a high dollar amount if you find one or have one and sell it to a pawn shop or at an auction. So these are really rare and a really cool part of history. Ninth Legion. The Ninth Legion held a notable place in Roman military history, participating in campaigns during the Roman Republic and the early Roman Empire. Its early engagements included serving in campaigns led by Julius Caesar. However, the Legion gained particular prominence for its involvement in Roman Britain during the 1st and 2nd century AD. Notably, it played a key role in the Roman invasion of Britain under Emperor Claudius in 43 AD and took part in subsequent military operations in the region. The most intriguing aspects of the Ninth Legion's history is its mysterious disappearance from historical records. The Legion's fate after the early 2nd century AD remains unclear, and theories regarding its disappearance abound. And some suggest that the Legion suffered heavy losses in battles or uprisings in Britain, leading to the dissolution or amalgamation with other legions. Another theory proposes that the Ninth Legion was redeployed to other regions of the empire and continued service under a different numerical designation. The uncertainty surrounding the fate of the Ninth Legion has sparked considerable historical debate and speculation. The lack of definitive evidence has given rise to various hypotheses, each offering a different perspective on the Legion's ultimate destiny. The mystery of the Ninth Legion has transcended the realm of academic inquiry, capturing the public's imagination and inspiring works of fiction in literature, film, and other forms of popular culture. Tier 6. Romulus was not real. The legendary figure of Romulus is indeed a mythical and foundational creature and character in the traditional narrative of the founding of Rome. According to Roman mythology, Romulus, along with his twin brother Remus, were said to be the sons of god Mars and Vestal Virgin Rhea Salvia. The twins were abandoned as infants and miraculously survived, being neutered by a she-wolf. As they grew older, the brothers eventually decided to establish a city, but a disagreement led to the famous tale of Romulus killing Remus, beginning the sole founder of Rome. While Romulus is the central figure in Roman mythology and the city's origin story, there's no historical evidence to support the existence of Romulus and Remus as real individuals, and it was mostly just a story to help show how Rome got into existence and so strong as a civilization. Mystery religions. Mystery religions in ancient Rome encompassed a variety of cults characterized by secret rituals, initiation ceremonies, and a focus on esoteric knowledge. Among these, Mithraism gained widespread popularity, especially among the Roman military. The cult of Mithras, centered around the god Mithras slaying a bull, involves symbolic initiation ceremonies with different levels of secrecy. Another influential mystery religion in Rome was the worship of the Egyptian god Isis. The mysteries of Isis promised personal salvation and a better afterlife through rituals, processions, and ceremonies. This cult attracted followers from various social classes and both genders. The Lycian mysteries, originating in Greece but celebrated in Rome, honored the goddess Demeter and Persephone. These mysteries, shrouded in secrecy, promised initiates positive spiritual experiences in a favorable afterlife. So in total, all of these mystery religions and just more like niche religions all just said you're going to have a better afterlife, and they were very small following and not very popular. Tier 7. Who killed Claudius? The death of Roman Emperor Claudius has been a subject of historical debate and speculation. The general accepted version is that Claudius died from poisoning, and many ancient sources attribute his death to his fourth wife, Agrippa the Younger, who sought to secure the succession of her son Nero to the imperial throne. According to historical accounts, Agrippa was ambitious and desired the throne for her son Nero rather than Claudius's natural son, Britannius. It is said that Agrippa poisoned Claudius, likely using a dish of poisoned mushrooms. This event occurred in 54 AD. The primary ancient sources for information on Claudius's death include the works of Tacitus, Sutonius, and Cassius Dio. These historians wrote about Roman history and events, but it's essential to note that the historical record from this period can be influenced by biases, political motivations, and limitations of ancient sources, so no one really knows for sure. Storus, also known as Starcidius, briefly held the title of Byzantine Emperor in the early 9th century, ascending to the throne in 811 AD following the reign of his father Necroephios I. Storus faced significant challenges during his short rule. One notable aspect of his reign was his battle with epilepsy, a condition that severely hindered his ability to govern effectively. Historical accounts, particularly those of Theophanes the Confessor, highlight how the emperor's seizures left him incapacitated, contributing to dissatisfaction among the ruling elite and the military. Storus' health issues ultimately led to his overthrow in the palace coup in October 811. His brother-in-law, Michael I Rangabe, succeeded him as the Byzantine emperor. Following his removal from power, Storus was tonsured and sent to a monastery, where he spent the remainder of his life in relative obscurity. While Storus' reign is not marked by notable accomplishments or decisive actions, his brief time on the throne reflects a period of political instability and challenges for the Byzantine Empire. Tier 8. Villa of Mysteries. The Villa of Mysteries, nestled on the outskirts of Pompeii, is an archaeological gem that emerged from the ashes of Mount Vesuvius eruption in 79 AD. Unearthed in the early 20th century, it captivates visitors with its remarkably preserved frescoes, particularly within a room believed to be the Tricinium, or the dining room. The frescoes, intricate and enigmatic, unravel scenes of what appears to be a ritual or initiation, prompting into associations with the Diogenes Mysteries, a religious practice linked to the Greek god Dionysius. The depictions of the villa's walls portray figures engaged in a mysterious rite of passage, and the symbolism embedded in the frescoes has sparked diverse interpretations. Some scholars propose that the scenes represent stages of a woman's life, while others suggest that they depict elements of the Diogenes Mysteries. The richness of the symbolism in these artworks adds layers to the villa's historical significance, offering glimpses into the religious and cultural practices of ancient Rome. 2 Constantine III's. Constantine III is a name associated with two distinct figures in Roman and Byzantine history. The first Constantine III, who lived in the late 4th and early 5th centuries, was a Roman general who declared himself Western Roman Emperor in 407 AD. His rule, centered in Gaul and Spain, was marked by internal dissent and external pressure. Despite initially establishing his authority, Constantine III faced defeat by forces loyal to Emperor Honorius in 411 AD. Leading to his surrender and subsequent execution. The second, Constantine III, also known as Hercules Constantine, emerged in the Byzantine Empire during the early 7th century. A grandson of the prominent emperor Hercules, he became Byzantine emperor in 641 AD after a period of power struggle following Hercules' death. Constantine III's reign, however, was marked brief due to severe illness, and he passed away shortly after descending from the throne. His death contributed to the ongoing instability in the Byzantine Empire during a turbulent period marked by conflicts with the Sasanian Empire and the rise of the Arab Muslim forces. Alright, now into the final tier of the iceberg, and I'm pretty sure this just goes over the phrase Holy Roman Empire has become famous, and it was reportedly said it was neither holy nor Roman nor an empire, highlighting the historical complexities of this unique empire, because it's just all I found online about this was the Holy Empire is not holy nor Roman nor an empire, because everyone had such differing opinions on it. So kind of interesting. Jeff and Roger are real. Do not research. I couldn't find anything on this at all. And so if any of you guys in the comments know what Jeff and Roger are real, do not research means, please comment it down below and I'll definitely pin you. Thank you. Dovahatti is biased is kind of a joke entry on this. Dovahatti is a namesake of a YouTube channel about Roman history. He is famous for his animations and comic representations of Roman events. This topic simply jokes that he is biased, as he always puts the word unbiased on his video styles. And that wraps up the Roman Empire Iceberg explained. I hope you enjoyed. This one's a little bit different than most of my other videos, and I'm sorry for any mispronunciations, because I'm not Italian, Roman, or any of the other things that their names are named after, and I don't actually have the time to look up every single one because Google doesn't have their pronunciations, and they're only on weird niche websites in different languages, and that's why there's mispronunciations and stuff like that. So I apologize if you couldn't make it through, but the goal for subscribers is 100,000, just 100,000, and that'd be really awesome. That's a dream of mine, and it's getting closer and closer every single day, and it amazes me that you guys watch my videos. It really does mean the world, and thank you so much for watching. And if you're still watching, just like the video. It helps out a lot, and comment video ideas down below. And once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya.